welcome back to Emotional Mojo. So our challenge today is to stop judging other people. And guess what? It seems moms could do well to take on this challenge. We'd all like to think we never judge, but that's usually not the case. Look at this snippet of Mommy Confessions from HLN. Producers asked the moms if they have ever judged other mothers.
The only time I've ever judged a mom is at our school who wears what I would like to say rather risque clothing. That it's hard not to be judging somebody wearing Daisy Dukes around kids.
But I do remember being at a park and seeing a mom who just railed on her kid in front of everybody. And I'm sure I said I will never do that. I don't think I've done it.
Yeah, so to discuss this topic with us, we'd like to welcome back our panel of real moms. We've got Michelle Kirkland, TJ Hall, and Cece Wilk. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you. So you just saw that clip. We're talking about judging other people. It's time to fess up. When have you guys ever judged other moms? Who wants to go first?
I think I've done that when I've seen someone abusing their child that I felt was abuse. You know, just really spanking them really hard in front of someone and grabbing them by the arm.
And so like kind of thinking to yourself, like, I would never do that.
Well, I think it's not just I would never do that, but just isn't that awful?
Yeah,
like,
that's what
that poor
that's
kid.
it. Yeah.
You know,
That's a tough situation too, because I don't know if you guys have ever seen that happening and you don't know, do I step in, do I say, or if the kid's acting up and mom's not doing anything. I feel like I've judged moms for that and been like, she should be telling him this and stepping in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Well, what I don't like is when I hear moms or dads call their kids brats. Those kind of words are just so, you know.
The verbal abuse.
Yeah, verbal. And it's just, it breaks my heart because I don't, you know. And I guess you consider that judging. And I'm not perfect, but I've never called my kids those kind of names.
Well,
I just couldn't.
Ways then, instead of judging each other, maybe Dr. Sam, you could chime in, that we could be uplifting each other as parents. What do you guys think? Do you have any tips?
You know, as I was saying earlier, I think one of the important things is to empower each other rather than to judge. Because sometimes mom is stressed out and the kid's we don't know what's been going on. They've been screaming, they've been throwing things off the shelves, you know.
Maybe and step in and say, how can I help?
Yeah, can I help in some way?
Right.
I think that, you know, that would be one thing I would suggest.
Okay, let's get to our next topic, because on that note, when we're not judging each other's parenting skills, what about our post-baby bodies? Many of us struggle to get our bodies back, but there are some things, let's face it, all the diet and exercise in the world will not change. And maybe, just maybe, we end up thinking like the ladies on the Lifetime show Dance Moms.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a boob job.
Well, good. I thought you wanted to do it for your 40th.
I was going to do it for my 40th birthday. I thought my husband would get it for me, and I thought he would get me my ring. Well, this year I've decided I'm doing both of them for myself. I want boobs because I think I need them to balance out my ass. Well, I used to have nice C's, and then I nursed my kids, all three of my kids, and now I don't have any, so I told my husband.
Mine was the
I
opposite.
lost them because I had kids, so he should reimburse me.
Return on his investment.
Yes, I love that. So we're all cracking up.
Absolutely.
But let's be real here. Is there anything wrong with that? What do you guys think? Plastic surgery after a baby?
No.
Ever done it? Ever considered it?
Never done it, but so do not judge other moms, because I think it's all about doing what you feel is best for yourself.
Sure.
And
do you believe that when women say, I just did it just for me? Do you think that's the truth?
I think it is. I mean, I think in the video you see her boobs were a particular size before, and then from nursing or whatever, they just disappeared. She wants them back. So that was, you know, I totally get that.
Michelle, Tara, what do you guys think?
I totally agree. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. I would never judge anyone, even if you're not a mom. But, you know, if that's what you want, then, you know, and you can do it, do it.
What I thought was hilarious was that she thinks it's her husband's fault.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to buy me boobs because I had his children.
So, but there's a fine line there, because there are other shows where there's one called My Mom is Obsessed, and we saw clips of it for a second there while we were talking, where it starts to send the wrong message. So at what point do we draw the line? How do we know when we're overstepping and teaching our kids the wrong values, especially if you have daughters, I wonder.
Yes.
It is a very fine line, Michelle, because what you want to always be teaching your kids, and I have a daughter myself, and so what I'm always trying to teach her is to love herself, to be happy with the person who she is.
Right.
And if I'm always cutting and changing or making comments about myself that are derogatory or saying, oh, I'm so fat, I'm so this, or whatever, I'm conveying that to her.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of young girls who grow up very, very early on who say, I don't look good, I'm not pretty, I'm,
And that's
you know,
where they're
and they're
putting it
getting
up.
it from us.
You know what I found helpful, and you can appreciate this, is not criticizing somebody else who is overweight.
Yeah.
Because I think, and myself, I've got 2 daughters who are dancers, and that's a whole nother issue because you're constantly watching how they perceive food. But I think if I were to make a negative comment about somebody else's mom, you know, about another mom that was overweight, that's just a terrible thing to just even have my children see that this is how I talk about other moms. So,
well, speaking of talking about other moms, so what happens when you go from being a stay-at-home mom and you go back into the workforce? Because we're all working mothers, okay? Well, a full-time mom and mommy blogger decided to get back to her career, and she found out the hard way the 3 things she says you should never say to moms re-entering the workforce. Let's see if we agree. The first thing she hates is when people say, "Oh, is it part-time?" She says because that implies she's just doing it for fun or for extra expenses, like it's not validating her career choice. What do you guys think? Yes, Dan?
Or that it should be part-time because you need to be
I was just thinking the same thing.
part-time mom.
Exactly.
The other one she hates is when people say, "Oh, I'm sure the baby will miss you so much." So she says, "What are you doing? You're trying to make me feel guilty."
Right, put a knife and turn it. Right?
Yeah, that's the worst.
The third thing she says you should never say to a mom going back to the workforce is, "Oh, it's going to be so hard for you." She said it makes her feel guilty because she's actually excited about going back to work. So then she feels bad. Could you guys kind of agree with this? These are some things people should just keep to themselves.
I think being a working mom is a good balance. Personally, for me, I mean, it works really well. I went back to work after my first daughter was born, like within like 6 months, and it was just, it is what it is. You know, you do what you have to do.
Yep.
But it made me a better mom.
Yeah.
Isn't that, you know what I'm saying?
And I think the key is to allow people to have different choices and be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends who are stay-at-home moms. I choose to work. I need to work. I'm a single mom like you, and so this is what I need to do.
Right.
They have different options, and that's okay. Well, both of us, it's totally fine, and we need to be. That's the whole point of not judging.
Yeah,
to allow us to each make our own choices.
All right, so this next topic, I'm going to give you guys a sign because it's kind of a yes/no. So a mom in Vancouver is furious at her daughter's 3rd grade teacher for making kids pay to use the bathroom. So here's the story. All these kids earn Monopoly money. They get them for doing good deeds, for being nice, finishing their schoolwork, and then they can spend the money on things like popcorn or small toys. But they also have to spend that money to go to the potty. Well, the problem is one 9-year-old was down to her last bit of money. She wanted to use it to buy popcorn because everybody else in her class was buying popcorn, but she also had to go to the bathroom. So the teacher said, "Hey, money management. You either pay to go to the bathroom or you pay for popcorn." Well, she bought the popcorn, ended up having an accident. The parents are totally angry about this. Now the teacher's on suspension. So the question is, should the teacher be fired over this? Should the teacher be fired?
That's messed up.
I have to say no.
No, we gotta educate.
Ooh, we're split.
What are the yeses? Why yes for you guys? We gotta be quick. We got
That
about
should have
15
never
seconds.
happened. That should never be an option.
Yeah.
They should be able to go to the bathroom when they want to go to the bathroom and not have a choice.
It's like I get money management, but that's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming in again and being our fun mom panel. I always have a great
you.
time. It's good to
Enjoyed
get
it.
opinions. We want to make you guys part of our show all the time. So make sure you can chime in on these topics on our Facebook page. Don't go anywhere.